My name is Robert Whidden. I'm editor of Employee Benefit Advisor. Today we're in Washington, D.C., and we're talking with Thom Mangan of Hub International. He's here for the Council of Insurance Agents and Brokers legislative meeting. Yesterday, Tom and some of his colleagues at CIAB were up on the Hill, and he's going to share a little bit about what he learned up there and what kind of concerns he expressed for the benefits advising community. Tom, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And like I said, you're here for CIAB's legislative meeting, and yesterday you guys were up on Capitol Hill. Who'd you meet with? What'd you talk about? What'd you hear?
Well, first, it's an interesting time to be here because they were rushing to pass the stimulus package. So a lot of the senators and congressmen were in committee, and so we met with a lot of aides, but I did get the opportunity to meet with some of the congressional leaders. Dodd, who really has the most to say about our industry as he runs the committee in charge. Lieberman was in committee at the time, and so we didn't have really the opportunity to meet with anybody but his staff. On the congressional side, again, we went to our representatives, our congressional leaders from our district. So I didn't spend time with people from New York, or I was spending time with people in Connecticut, which actually works out very well from an insurance standpoint because they all have an interest. That's the majority of the great jobs in Connecticut are insurance related.
Right.
From a Senate side, there is a fundamental move of change, but you have 100 senators who report to nobody. From a House side, there is a groundswell like I've never seen. I've been coming to the Hill for many years and speaking on behalf of our clients, our customers, the company, the council, who represents 98% of all insurance premiums written in the world. So when we talk, they listen. And there is a desire for change in the way healthcare is delivered. Some are more radical than others. We did have the opportunity to meet with Senator Kennedy's office. Of course, he's not here right now. He's battling cancer. And his life's mission is to change healthcare. But one good thing that came out of that meeting that we were very, very positive about was that they realized they can't make massive changes to a single payer system, that it would still be an employer-based system. So we felt very good about what he's really toned down where he was just a year ago. And I think a lot of it has to do with the economy and what's going on there. The congressmen we met with were surprisingly, for businessmen, these were guys that came from Goldman, a lot of new Democrats that I was very surprised, thought they would understand Business 101, were saying things such as, and I did get to meet with many of them, not their staffers, they were saying things such as, we need to have more leverage in our healthcare system so that we can drive down the cost of care. When I countered with, your government leverage has been the problem, you've been cost shifting over to the private sector, that immediately led into more of a single payer type talk, which again surprised me, being that they were from Goldman and other type of places. So they don't understand that's our job, is to educate them on what's going on. And I'll follow up in their districts and talk to them locally. Where the council stands on reform is that there is a fundamental need for reform. There's a lot of people without jobs. A lot of people have health insurance right now for that. Things that are terrifying me right now, and I was just trying to page through the Washington Post to see what came out of the Compromise Committee yesterday on the stimulus package. They are trying to put, or what was in there, I think it was on the House side, and the Senate really dominated the Conference Committee. What was in there was COBRA, and which is they were mandating that COBRA be offered to those who were laid off.
Yep.
COBRA, which is the reverse logic of what you would do with an employer who had to lay off somebody. Now, they were giving some sort of tax credits, but ultimately the tax credit's not enough. If the average COBRA participant runs 1.40 times what an employee is on their claims, their premiums are going to go up, and that's not going to be reflected in the tax credit they're going to get.
Right.
That's okay. I think that made it through, and we're willing to live with that.
You heading back up to the Hill, or are you done with that part of the
We're done
meeting?
with that part of it. We covered a lot of things with them yesterday, and fortunately they were much more casual. They were just beat.
Sure.
So you could catch them after hours and really have a frank conversation with them, because they were more relieved they got it done.
Yeah. What's the day like, though? You guys
today we have a board meeting. Where are we? At a certain point in time, you can't just draw the line in the sand. When I first started lobbying on behalf of the industry, I always thought that you would the first Clinton era mandate that the Hillary care.
Sure.
We did put draw the line in the sand.
Right.
I don't think that's going to work this time. And we've talked to political consultants. They've come in and talked with us, and they've said Obama's a different animal. He's studied. The fact that he went around Congress to the people to have that town hall meeting was very powerful. And he will pull a centrist move, very much like Bill Clinton did 2 years into his presidency, and drive down the middle of the political spectrum, and try to get the blue dog Democrats or Republicans as much as he possibly can. But our take on it is we've got to be part of the solution,
right,
and try to work within the system, because there is a groundswell. If there's a silver lining to this terrible, terrible recession, it is that we probably will not have any sort of legislation passed this year. Second silver lining to Daschle not being confirmed is Daschle had the inside track.
Right.
He was leading. In fact, he was
slows
good friends
things
with
down.
Kennedy.
Right.
That slowed it down completely.
Sure.
So there's the appetite. Actually, the money
right.
is not there for it right now.